Hello, hello. This is Pat with Patchwork Papers. I am out in the Bluebird Bungalow. It is a beautiful spring day here in Georgia. We've got 70 degrees on the nose. However, it's a little chillier in my Bluebird Bungalow because of the insulation, which is a good thing. So I've got my door open. I may need to shut it if our neighbors have too good of a day in their backyard. Anyway, hello, welcome. If this is your first time finding me, welcome to the Bluebird Bungalow. If you are one of my subscribers, thank you for coming back to see what's going on out here. The last video I did was the garden journal and the papers that went along with it. I have a few that I haven't used, and these are just a sampling of those papers. I chose to make a gardening journal, and I have been using it. And I've got seeds in here to plant because last night it was down to 35 degrees, so it's not quite time yet. But I want to show you a freebie that I have for you that goes along with this. Not necessarily goes along with it, but it coordinates with it. So this is the freebie. It is 3 papers. It is 2 patchwork envelopes. And I have to just insert here. This is, I've done envelopes, in fact, at Halloween, or I think it started September 13th and went all the way to October 13th. I did a new envelope, and we did a book. I don't know if I've got it right here or not. I don't think so. I should have thought ahead, but I will link that below. But I diverge, whatever. I'm off track. There is a envelope challenge, and I think it's ABC envelope. I'm not sure. I'll link that below. That Tracy Fox and Line Dot Arrow, I believe, are doing. And there's a group of creators that are doing a different project with the envelopes from certain kits. I thought about doing that, but I thought I want to highlight some of my designs. So, but I want to link it below. I do think it's worth your while to watch. Their kits are free also in their Ko-fi shops. Excuse me. And these will be free in my Ko-fi shop at Patchwork Papers. Linking that below. So far, I have a few links to make sure I do. Anyway, these are the 2. I was doing just fine till I got out here. Maybe it's an allergy. With a few little ephemera pieces and some little small envelopes and some mini envelopes. Not quite sure how I'll use them, but I just couldn't help it. They got so cute as they got smaller. So that's the freebie. Okay, and I'm going to call it, what am I going to call it? Garden envelopes. Okay, all right, but let me show you what we're going to do. I'm hoping that I don't have a bird fly in here. So my plan is to join these two envelopes. This is what they look like made up. I'm going to join them like this to make a book cover or a booklet cover like that. And I am going to insert a little notebook that I'm going to make. And then I will do a little decorating on the outside. Okay, so I am going to pause and get my envelopes ready and the cover for my booklet, which I am going to use this yellow polka dot from the Garden Journal kit. Okay, so don't go away. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I have trimmed out around the two large patchwork envelopes, and I did one small and one tiny. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with those, so I'm going to set those aside. Now, when I did this, I cut around and I did distress around the edges and after I folded there. I did print them out of copy weight paper. I think they would do better in this instance out of cardstock, but we will find out. I did not print double-sided because of what I'm going to do. You wouldn't see the inside. However, these, I just dearly love having a lining, and I probably would have printed this second smaller sheet with the small envelopes on double-sided with just something on the back. So this is where I'm headed, and I'm going to make a small booklet. This cover is 8.5, so the width of the paper. However, because of the borders, I had to cut lengthwise on my paper this way, and this is what I ended up with that way. Okay, so it's going to be 8.5 by 6, so 8.5 by 6 inches wide. And the reason why is because the envelope is just a little bit, it's like a 6 1/4 inch. Okay, all right. Now, before we do that, I need some plain paper, and I'm going to use, will you work? No, but I'm going to pause again. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay. I've got my inside papers cut. These are just some, I think they're hibiscus dyed. It's interesting that hibiscus that I used was red and it makes it go green. I don't know if it's the acid in the paper. So, and it looks like I got to cut that down just a little. But we're going to cut it down after we put it together. So, I'm going to kind of intersperse these in here like that, and I am going to staple it. And I'm not doing anything yet with these, so I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to fold this in half like that, and I'm doing it purposely with the print in here, and you'll see why, because we won't see this. Where's my old folder? Need a nice crisp fold, and we're going to slide slide that in there. I think I will trim these off. So I'm going to make myself a guide here, and I'm going to take a smidgen off of that side. I'm going to walk over here and do it on my big trimmer. Don't go away. I'm not going to pause again. Famous last words. And trim that. All right, let's see how I did. That's good. Okay, I am going to staple. I'm going to use my handy dandy book binding boss stitch. And if you're interested, I will link that below. Okay. And there. Now, I could have sewn, and I really prefer sewing, but it's so nice and quick for this. Okay, booklet is done. Okay, now here is why we didn't put these together. When I did this, my first ones, I put them together like this, inserting one envelope flap into the other, like that. And my idea is that this will slide in there, which is great going in that way. Not necessarily great going in this way. I could do it, but I decided I'll put it together, glue it together after. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to decide which way we want this. So here will be one option. It's the green on the blue, or we could do the red on that. I don't love that. That's way too much contrast, so it's going to be this way. And the red will be inside and not seen. So this needs to be glued down. I think that I'm going to glue just this tip, and I may slide something in there. So I'm going to keep them together, and we're going to give our glue press a chance. Sometimes it's very persnickety. Oh, look at that. I have a feeling during the winter it was almost frozen. I don't know. Okay, set it into the little thing. Oh, it moved. So I've got to get things back. Okay, just like that. Okay. And something thin like that, well, or a little thinner, maybe like that, could tuck in. I don't know. It won't matter because we're going to just open this up, and I'm going to glue all of this down. Just like that. Okay. And now we're going to glue the envelope together. So this will fold, and this will fold, and this is going to be glued from there to there and there to there. So not quite to the end. Let me see if I can turn this. So I'm going to go right along there and right along there, not to the top. Bring it out here. Okay, so now this is going to glue like that. Let's flip this over and put that down. Fold those in. And I'm going to glue down there. And glue. I think I just went a little high, but it won't matter. Yes, it will. Because if I want to change out this little booklet ever, right like that. Okay, let's see if it works. It seems to be good. So what we have is we open up and we see that as a lining. We have our little papers and that. Cute. All right, now I want to do a little decorating. Now, do we want, I think that would be a fun long tag. It's going to need to be thinner. I am going to be brave, or not brave and just stupid, and just cut this thinner. And I'm going to give it, well, where are you? I'm going to give it some, cut off the corners. What this is, if you haven't seen something, I've just used an old card, cut off some corners, and then I can have a template to cut. The same on each side. Okay? And I do need to do a little distressing. Just like that. That can slide. Can it? Yes, just like that. Right. Thinking it does like to pop open. What could I do for the closure? I think a ribbon would be good. Let's take a look in my blue. Do I have? What's that? Does it match the other side? Yeah, I think it's okay. What I'm going to do is I will put, how long do I want it? Oh, just use the whole thing. Just use the whole thing. I'm going to tie a bow. I got the shiny. I don't think so. It's pretty shiny on both sides, but like this. I'm going to use this as a journal for Easter weekend, which is next weekend. I'm spending time with my eldest son in a little German-style town in northern Georgia called Helen. And I haven't been journaling lately, and I think I'll use this to journal some of that trip. Okay, now what would look good on the front? Let's look at some of what I have here. I don't think I want, don't want that. Well, I think that I'm going to use that. There's not much blue in it though, is there? I liked keeping this whole. Let me show you. I thought I would, this is the Freebie ephemera sheet. You can get that in my Ko-fi shop, and I'll link that below. But it seemed like it would make a really nice trifold, like a little note. I know what to do. Let's finish this first, like that. What I think I will do, how about you? What if we do this? Like, I think I like that. I'll put some kind of a little closure there, and I can put some little notes in there. Yeah, let's put this together. And just along there, I just did a little bit there and there. Too much. Let's fold that up there. I've got some little, I've got postage stamps somewhere, and I couldn't find them as I was in the break, but I think that I also will make this a little pocket. So I'm going to just glue along there and along here and along there. And that will keep the ribbon in place there. Good if it were straight. And I've got a couple of tags here that can go in there like that. Okay, I need some little something there, and I'm not quite sure what that will be. I think that's good. On the back here, we've got this tag. Let's see, what else do I have? I'm not just loving her. I love I love these vintage images, but they're just not making me happy right now. Now if I use that, if I use this, I can still keep it open for this to slide in and out of. So I think I'll do that. So I'm going to make me a little mark here and here. Am I smart enough? I don't know. Transfer that to that side. That to that side. Okay, so I am going to glue all of that, and then I'm only going to glue like that. Let's see if I did right. Let's find out. Will you still? Yep, you're still moving. Let's do. Where's one of my good erasers? Because as soon as I do it with that, it's going to not be right. I need one of these little white erasers. Okay, so that's a tag there. This is glued down, holding down the ribbon. And these, I'm going to put a little message in there. Let's see, on this side, no. This will be used for something else. No. I'm going to come up with something, and you'll see it as I show it in the preview. Okay, so here's the little booklet. So it opens like that. Oh, here's where some of these other fun things can go. I can put her there. Let's do it. Let's commit. And a nice thing about this, I just thought of it. Okay, just like that. Things can slide in there. That can go there. Let's put this little stamp. I think it's going to go in the back. Let's do this. And let's take this. Let's do a little distressing there. Let's slide you in there. Just like, oh, I did glue that down. I did. Oh. There. Slide in there. Let's put these cute ladies in their Easter bonnets. And I'm just wondering if I as a child always had gloves and Easter bonnet, matching patent leather, white patent leather shoes and gloves. I would love to know if that's the era you were from. And somehow I think many of you were. We had the hat, and it had a little ribbon, and gloves, and a dress with a petticoat that scratched, and I griped the whole time. Was that you too? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your experiences and what you remember about Easter. And I always remember wanting to have one of those Easter baskets with the cellophane, which when I became a mom, those were the biggest waste of money because it was mostly filler. So we would do Easter baskets. As my kids got older, I would do a scavenger hunt for them to find them. And then pretty soon it was like, really, Mom? We don't really want an Easter basket, which was very sad. I'm going to slide these in here. I think that I'm going to make this envelope and slide it in. Okay, so I hope you will go get your freebie at my Ko-fi shop. Now, it's a freebie, but if you decide you want to buy me a coffee or a soda or something sweet, because it'd probably be chocolate, girls, you can do that. But it is free, and go grab yourself the kit. And while you're there, check out Tracy Fox. I'll put the link below, and Line.Arrow. Okay, well, I'm happy with that. When I get that on, you'll see it at the beginning. We'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each one of you. Take care. Bye-bye.